Hello, what? How are you? We have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello, world. How's it going? Hello, welcome, and what's up? Hope you guys are all doing great. What day is it? Oh, yeah, it's Friday. So welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A. About freshwater aquarium keeping fish, shrimp, and plants, or you can ask me, LRB, aka Lucas R. Brett, if you want to know what my name is, my full name if you don't know. And if I don't know any of your guys' questions, we have a absolutely amazing community here in the chat to help us out, because I don't know it all. You could do this hobby for 100 years plus, easily not know it all. Like for instance, Aquatics, shout out to him, came out with a video about a freshwater blenny. Now, I haven't looked into it a whole lot, but I guess it's a thing, so that's pretty interesting. I have never seen one. Somebody said steamboat. Funny, Tampa Tom. Alright, hello, everybody in the chat. Lady LRB actually just walked through the door with Wesley. Just as soon as I had to get on here, too. Oh, well, I'll see him in an hour, I guess. Hard part about working at home with family. 305 Richie Rich says, hello, world, how are you? Says, we have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, because it's Q&A time again. Oh, man. That it is. How cold can scuds go? That's a good question, Valley Fish. I would say, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I would probably say Google it. Gammarus scud. Gammarus scud. And that would probably give you a definitive answer. Because I would probably be like, 50s, 40s, but I could still be way off. Way off. But I do know they're pretty hardy critters. Muradu Singh says, do you have ideas on how to grow out seeds from Apontigitan ulvacis to plants? I think I have some. Also, what size are the seeds? I've never actually done those. I think they're like a bulb size though. Maybe just start them. Some people just float them and wait till they start sprouting. And then whenever they start sprouting, like their leaves and stuff from the top, then they'll start planting them. Some people just plant them too. But you just got to be careful about them rotting away if you're just planting them in your substrate. That's the only thing about those. That's why people float them often. Michael Michaelidge, thank you, brother, so much for the $5 super chat. It says hashtag fish party. Whoop, whoop. Let's get it started. Where's Stephen Conroe at, too, when you need him? He always likes the fish parties. But thank you so much, Michael Michaelids. I hope you're doing great, brother. Whoop, whoop, Gotta start beatboxing. No, I won't do that to you. Won't do that to you. It's already bad enough. But thank you, Michael. What is your favorite guppy? Ooh, that's a tough one. Guppy boy. No, I really like the Dalmatian guppies lately. Volcano guppies, those platinum fire and ice guppies. As far as what's in my stock, I would say those are probably my top 3. Father Fish in the house. What's up, Father Fish? Big shout out to him. If you haven't seen his channel, go check out Father Fish. Great guy sharing his wisdom. Real natural kind of guy. Oh, there's Lady LRB. She's in the chat. William Booth says, how can I tell my angel fry are eating? Been using Hycaria first bites. They seem to hang in the mulm. Yeah, big reason why they're probably hanging in the mulm is because they're eating all the little critters and stuff that eat off of the mulm. So they're probably eating things there. If you watch them, you can probably see them nibbling a bit too. I would say as long as they got a decent sized stomach, you don't see like their stomach sinking in, I would say they're eating. As long as you don't see deaths too, because, well, even sometimes they'll even be ornery to each other as babies and will eat each other, but as long as you see their bellies full, you should be alright. And even if, you know, they're not eating a Akari first bites, some stuff in the tank maybe. Nurse Becca says, found some newly hatched dwarf neon rainbows at my Neocaridina tank. Must have hitched in on some plants. How long before I'll need to move them, do you think, LRB? Well, it depends on what's in there. Oh, well, if it's just Neocaridina, then as long as I mean, they stay pretty small. You can probably get away with it for quite some time. As long as they can't fit a fry like a small Neocaridina shrimp, like the fry shrimp, in their mouths, you should be alright. Unless you're not worried about it and want population control, then it's okay. Stephen Conroe, there he is. Throwing down a $2 super chat. Hope all's great with you, Stephen. Said, did someone say party? I knew you'd be down. My boy Preston John in the chat. What's up, my man? Big shout out to him. He's a big supporter of mine, and he doesn't really ask for anything back, and he's just awesome guy. And he's got those spotted Shidentai puffers. So if you're looking for them, check him out. And Candy Overhaul's got to shout you out too for just being the Wonder Woman you are on everybody's stream, just laying down the links and doing the thing. Like you're awesome. Big part of the community. Thank you. Candy Overhauls. GB3, thank you for the $10 super chat. Great to see you in here again. Says Lady LRB gets to hang out. Well, I mean, she could if she wanted to. I mean, she is listening. Oh, she's reminding me I'm in top chat. There we go, live chat. Now I'm back. YouTube always puts you in top chat. Loved Lego video. Thanks, Nathan. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's ever done that before. Where are you going? Oh, Candy Amateur Aquatics says, where are you going live, Candy? So I think she's going to be on KG Tropicals channel, which I was just on last Saturday. Did a video hangout with him. If you guys want to check it out, go to KG Tropicals channel. And we did like almost a 2-hour hangout there. I think she's supposed to do it next week or the week after. I'm sure she'll let you know in the chat which exactly it is. I can hardly remember my schedule, let alone hers. Says Blue Ice Aquatics. Says LRB, do you have to have active substrate to have blue bolts or blue panda shrimp? So yes, you do need a more acidic substrate for sure. You don't want just inert substrate. You're gonna want something active. That's why I don't deal with Caridinias a lot. Like, I love them. They're just high maintenance, and I have too many tanks that have high maintenance shrimp. That's why Neocaridinias do absolutely awesome for me. I'll breed those all day long because they love my water. Super easy. Don't have to keep re-upping their substrate and their botanicals. A lot of ways you could do. Like, it's really not that hard, but like I said, I've got like hundreds of tanks, and when you just have to worry about keeping up on botanicals and keeping them breeding and all that, it becomes a lot of work. It's not my focus, but you do want to keep it active. You want to keep that acidity. Love Tango says, do you have shrimp, plants, fish safe solution for little red mites in the aquarium? Little red mites. I have not come across little red mites, so I'm not exactly sure what you're dealing with. A picture's worth 1,000 words there. I don't know, anybody else in the chat ever dealt with little red mites? Now, I've seen them like outside playing as a kid, And I believe they're harmless. I think they even may use it as like food coloring or something, those little red mites. But if they're actually underneath the water submersed, I am not quite sure. I always love learning something new. Guppy Boy says, what is a good plant for fry? I would say pearlweed. Pearlweed is my top favorite plant in my fish room for any kind of fry purposes. Moss is good, but moss usually tends to stay at the bottom. As far as the pearlweed, you can put it on the bottom or the top, so you can cover both sides, because not all the time do the fry just hang out at the bottom. They also hang out at top. And often, like even for guppies, being Guppy Boy and everything, your guppies will sleep on the bottom, so if there's nothing down there protecting them, they can get eaten by adults or other fish. So it is good to have ground cover for them as well, top and ground cover. Let's see, I think I am, oh no, sweet, I'm right where I need to be. Rockford Fish Keeping says, LRB Aquatics, I have a chance to get some tanks ranging from 40 breeder to 200 something. But really, is bigger always better, or just it more depend on the fish? So bigger is always better, for sure, without a doubt. Now, if you have a real bad problem of collectoritis, then you got to kind of learn how to balance your space, depending on how much space you have too. But definitely, I love bigger tanks. I would go bigger tanks all day long if I could possibly. Now, when it comes to breeding certain things and whatnot, you do need smaller tanks just because it helps kind of put them in position to socialize with each other, so it makes it easier to breed them out opposed to just having them in a big tank. Even though sometimes they'll naturally do that as well. In a big tank, so I always say bigger is better. I don't know why she's yelling at me about top chat. I am in live chat, Lady LRB. Amateur Aquatics says, what's your favorite tank at the moment, Lucas? Oh man, that's a tough one. That one's always got a special part of my heart. Same with the rainbow tank in the main fish room, but it's not looking too good. The Exodon tank is looking awesome. There's a lot of these tanks that are just looking super sweet right now, so I don't know, it's hard to really choose. Like even the one that was on the thumbnail that's just full of Vallisneria, I absolutely love that tank. I like the jungle looks, myself personally. And just how this one's kind of made its way, even though there's all reflection, that's all plant actually floating on top. And with live, I can't change the reflection or the light. It just won't do it. Be cool if it would. Be a lot cooler if it did. Do you have any pearlweed for sale? Miller Aquatics, I do. LRBAquatics.com. Do you eat Tetra tropical granules when no one is looking? It's a good seasoning for salad. Like, if you're trying to get that protein in, you know. Give it a little crunch. What's up, Gary's Aquatics? And hello, everybody. You got me with that at LRB, so I read it. You get me with that at LRB, and we'll look at it. Mark Bockwell, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Great to see you in here again. Says, have any of your discus been breeding? Merry Christmas. So not actively, they have not. I need to get a breeding cone. I don't know why I don't have one. I've been meaning to get one for quite some time. I don't know. I wanted to breed them there for a while, but just all the care, maintenance, and all that. I'm not positioned in the fish room. And that's why I'm actually getting ready to get rid of a bunch of stands and do some new projects and builds and stuff. Because I'm looking this way because that's where I'm doing it. I'll show you guys. Like all that's coming out. That stand, I've already got that stand pretty much empty. I'm just waiting on dwarf neon babies right now to finish hatching out of eggs. And then that's gonna go, and we're gonna make some cool stuff. But thank you, Mark Bockwell, for the super chat. Tilapia Store says, smile, damn it, LOL. What, I don't smile? I think I smile all the time. I'm always cheesing about something, usually. It used to get me in trouble all the time. Like, every time. Like, all my buddies, like, when I was in school, we'd all get in trouble as, like, a group, but I'd always get in trouble because I'd always get this smirk on my face when I was getting in trouble, and it always made it, like, 10 times worse for me. But, hey, I learned a lot. I mean, I'm forever gonna have this smirk, this smile. So, what am I supposed to do? They didn't understand. Anyways, Just Shrimp Granny, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, happy holidays, everyone. Remember, shrimp from LRB Aquatics are the gift that keep on giving. That's very true. That is very true. If only they were in stock. I do got a lot of numbers coming up too, but the wait list on them right now is just, they're pretty much going to be out of stock when they first get in a stock. But I appreciate it, Just Shrimp Granny, and for trying to promote me, and for the $5 super chat. You're absolutely awesome. Big shout out to Just Shrimp Granny. She actually helped me at Aquatic Experience at my booth, and she was amazing. Real good friend I've got to hang out with at these events. Uncommon Sense says, what's your next bucket list species? I would say the one that I haven't really kept or gotten that I've been wanting for a long time would be the lamp eye Congo tetras. They're just really expensive. I haven't pulled that trigger because I know if I'm gonna get a wet spot tropical fish order, I'm gonna want more than just them because they always got a lot of cool rare stuff on their website and their list. So it'll probably cost me $1,000 just to put an order in with them because all their awesome stuff, and that's a lot of money for fish, but luckily it's all right off too. Nathan Alexander, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, Nathan Alexander. Fatherfish says he was at Hans recently. Magnificent discus. Is he near yours? Or near where you are? They do have some beautiful discus. I found it really interesting that the guy who's running it now, he mentioned about discus, how when they get these black stripes, a lot of people used to think they got this dark coloring whenever they're stressed, but he says that anytime you just put them in a planted tank, it's just what happens. They get that coloring on them. Did find some baby plecos in there the other day, which was cool. But I know that used to be like, everybody used to say that. Until I heard him say it, then I was like, okay, I could take your word for it, because they've been doing it forever. And Han would not have just let anybody just run that whole business. Aha, there I am. 305 Richie Rich says, any ideas why my water would smell? Ooh. Anytime you get a smell from your tank, no bueno. Anytime. Like, I got all these tanks. No tops, no nothing. Does not smell like a dirty pond in here. Doesn't really smell like a fish room. Doesn't really smell like nothing. So anytime you do get a smell in your tank, unless it's an earthy smell, you've got a problem. So it's either ammonia or something else built up. You're gonna wanna do a water change, but careful doing it too fast and too hard, because the fluctuations of whatever may be in there could cause drastic effects as well. So just kind of pull it out gradually. Dilution is the solution. He says, I do water change once a week. I have 2 angels and 5 tetra and a 20-gallon high. I mean, that's not a big stock load. I don't know if you have any plants. Plants can help with that. Like if they're producing too much ammonia, the plants can actually come in and help clear that out. I don't know if you're running a filter. I mean, I could keep that stock in a 20-gallon high without a filter, without any smells. Not really sure what's causing your smells. Are you over cleaning when you do your water changes? How much are you water changing? Are you going too big on your cleans? That you don't have enough good beneficial bacteria to fight off any bad bacteria. I've actually fought bacteria problems with other bacteria. So sometimes if I'll have a bacterial issues or I suspect it to be, I will take one of my dirty power head sponges here and throw it in the tank and get it all molmy, and all that beneficial bacteria can often outcompete the bad bacteria. So just make sure you're not cleaning it too much, but you're still going to want to do that water change if it's smelling. I don't know what it smells like, but it's not usually good if it does. Guppy Boy says, what is the top 5 easiest plants for biggers? No CO2. So I don't know what you mean for biggers. Maybe bigger plants, maybe Amazon swords. You've got crypts, you've got Anubias, pearlweed. I mean, stems can get pretty big, and you've got like Luigias and hygrophilias that often do great without CO2. Pretty much a lot of all of them. Rotalias. Did I say Rotalias? I don't think. I don't know. Maybe Luigias. But anyways. D. Kirkbride says, I'm treating a puffer worm internal parasite, but haven't used dewormers before. How long should flubendazole take to work, and what should I be looking out for? Thanks. So just look out for their skinny stomachs. If they are skinny, they probably do have some kind of worm parasite inside of them. Not all worms are affected by the same medicines. So sometimes I'll do a Pancure C dog dewormer. There's Quintel, and then there's also the flubendazole, which I think that is like the Pancure C. I would say I would treat it like you do Hydra or Planaria in a shrimp tank, and do it so you do 0.1 grams per 10 gallons, and then you wait 72 hours, do a 50% water change, and then you repeat that at least 2-3 times. 4 to be safe, because sometimes you don't know how long the life cycle of some of these worms can be. There are lots of different types of worms too. But that is a great place to start, and if that doesn't work for you, then maybe move on to the Quintil. I would try to spell that for you, but that might get a little tough. Tilapia says, S-eating grin. You know it. That's how you know I'm happy, though. Hello, Breast Aquatics. Have you had Bacopa Carolina, aka lemon Bacopa? If so, what's the smallest tank can you keep it in, and is it easy to propagate? Thanks, Lucas. So actually, I do have it all over the fish room. It does love ferts. I've learned that it doesn't do well if you don't have any kind of like extra fertilizer to go into your tanks. But 10 gallon, I've got it growing in, super easy to propagate. Just like any stems, you cut it like halfway in between it, take the leaves off the bottom, and then plant it back. And then out of what you cut, it'll grow 2 more. Then you can take those two as it grows out, and then just keep placing them and propagating them, and next thing you know, you got a ton of plants. Once you learn how to propagate stem plants, they all pretty much work the same. That's why a lot of people, once they get used to it, they've only need like a couple stems to really get things going, because that's what they do. They're often fast growing stems, so it's really quick to get them going. When I say quick, in aquarium hobby world, quick is like a month or so. Chewy says, Lady LRB, could I Used LRB Aquatics logo for the Fish Fan magazine video I am doing for Christmas. Sounds interesting. I don't care. Go ahead, my guy. Huh? I'm super behind on the chat?
If that's where you're at.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I should be scrolling, huh? Joel Jay-Z. Oh, he changed his name from NZ to Jay-Z. Oh. Is he going to start busting beats now? But throwing him down a black cat sticker. Must be a shout out to Miss Kitty and Squeakers. Throwing down a $1.50 super chat. I appreciate you, Joel. Thank you so much. Oh, here we go. Natural aquariums. Lucas red mites on the surface sound like springtails to me if they, oh, what just happened? Are hopping around, and so if, in my experience, are harmless. Fast fish like rainbows can catch them tasty. So yeah, those will often happen in some planar aquariums. I've had them in here before where you'll see like these springtails jumping around on the top of your water. They are harmless, and like you mentioned, fish do like to eat them, for sure. I don't think the springtails are often red though. Could be wrong. Maybe there's some species out there that is. Rockford fish keeping, what size is that discus? If you're, oh yeah, I must be way behind because, oh man. All right, well, if I'm that far behind, I would say he's about 5 inches or so. Well, Garamis eat a molly. Yep, there's Lady LRB. She's over here trying to moderate me from afar. I'm just kidding. Will Garamis eat a molly? I don't think so. Mollies are pretty quick. They can hold. Did I miss anybody's questions? I did not realize I was so far behind. It's Bob's fault. I believe that. Bob, I did give you a shout out earlier about your blenny, by the way, at the beginning. So you owe me one. Just kidding. But cool blenny. I never knew those things existed. Kaylor's Aquatics, thank you so much for the $10 super chat and your support again, brother. Says Lucas, recommend something on your website. I'm wanting more fish. How do you have room for more fish, Bob? You're always getting more fish. But as far as recommendations, I don't know. There's just a lot of guppies on there right now. We've got the dwarf neons on there. There's nothing real fancy on there at the moment. Which I'll probably change. It's just with wintertime and fish, I try to just hoard my fish back. Because I don't want to risk them. They're my babies. I prefer to do it when it's a little warmer and a little less riskier.
Dwarf neons would probably be the best, but I'm sure Bob's already got those.
Yeah, I don't know. And if you want endlers or guppies, I've got those all day long. All day long. Of all kinds of cool types that you won't find elsewhere. For like half of what you'll find them too, if you can find them. So, thank you, Bob, for the super chat, Kaylor's Aquatics, and for recommending my website and talking about it. Because it is Christmas time. I gotta buy some toys for Wesley. Thank you, F&S Fish Room. He's at that Hot Wheel age. Hot Wheels, Legos. I think we may get into the Nerf guns. That'll just be fun running around the house. Let's see. That's a feather fish. North Country Aquatics. Have you ever had bettas? Have you ever bred them, and have you had multiple days of egg hatching causing what looks like multiple spawns in the same grow out tank? So yeah, sometimes that can happen where some hatch sooner than the others. I have bred them. I have a video on them breeding and how I bred them. It's not the standard textbook way, but I do have a video on that. And I have actually a bunch of them in my fish room. Recently gave my 7 color Nemos, they're probably like a $500 pair. And gave those to Big City Bettas because I actually know she'll spend the time to breed them out. I didn't have time to do so. And she actually did get a spawn, so I'm hoping to get some of those for this summer. Big reason why I'm doing I'm doing a big build out in the backyard so I can make some more ponds for bettas and getting into breeding them a little more. I just don't have the ability to do it properly, so I've halted it. Especially after I've done it. I've kind of already got it off the bucket list, but if I'm going to do it for production reasons, I definitely want to be set up. But even by that time, I may even just breed something else. Anyways, okay, of the Dawn says, will guppy grass make it being mailed in cold weather? So yes, it will. I use heat packs, 96-hour heat packs. Guppy Boy says, what are some benefits of having a dirted tank? Cheap, nutrients, soft substrate for roots to really do what they need to do. They can get murky. Father Fish recommends capping with sand. You can cap with rocks, but I don't know. I've never done it. I've done it with the Eco Complete, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of it. Like, it's okay. It's a cheap substrate. Sand, I've always had my best growth in sand though. It's just not all fish are best presented on sand, depending on what kind of color of sand. For some reason, we got really crappy sources of black sand here. There's not a whole lot to choose from where I'm at. You go over to Washington, like that stuff is out in the creeks. It's all over the place. You have some beautiful black sand out there. Ooh, Kaylor's Aquatics says, Lucas, I have 180 sitting empty. When it is cabinet ready, I will be moving a bunch of fish, big fish from various tanks to it. That will make a lot of space. Need room, buy more tanks if you don't know. Oh, I know. That sounds sweet. Always love, that's another good thing about big tanks is you can throw a bunch of your fish together in them, and you got a beautiful community tank to look at, and you also get a ton of new space for more stuff. So that's awesome you're in that position. Brandon Junkers, why is he getting deleted? Did you see that?
Yeah.
You unhit him.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, and then he got hit again?
Yeah.
Was he being a doucher?
Irrelevant.
Oh, irrelevant. Okay. College student 207 or 2017. How are the mascara barbs with plants? Do they eat them? So yes, they do. The mascara barbs are in here. They do eat the heck out of that Taiwan lily. They did the Luigi arcuata. That was what was in there before. But they do eat a lot of those plants. But it just helps keep the plants trim, and it just adds a food source for them, so they get their vegetables. Thomas Glazer, do you have any plants that seem to grow better under a marsh compared to growing in open water? So yeah, like your Parva crypts, your Anubias, your Bucephalandras, they do great. That Sagittaria, especially that dwarf Sag I have, it does great. I've actually seen Downoi too, Helferite Downoi, grow really good, like underneath plants. And that was without CO2, I believe, if I recall. That was a long time ago though.
Sounds about right.
I'm just looking around here, seeing if I see anything else that springs to mind. Some mosses do. A Pilo, it's less needy for a moss. Subwasser Dang does okay. It starts shrinking a little bit over time. Ferns, Java ferns, does work really good. See, Carrie Nature says, can black desert sand be used in a tank, or is it too fine? I mean, I think it would be okay. Really hard to get too fine. No. Yeah, because even the Carib Sea I have, it's pretty fine. But the way it compacts isn't too bad, you know. How should I stock a 45-gallon tall? Single fish or community and what? Oh, Michael Wall. Only you can answer that, brother. Only you can answer that. Do you want a community or do you just want a school or something? You want just a big fish? Do you want a bunch of little fish? Big fish and little fish? Dude, the world is your oyster at this moment. It's like the funnest time is figuring out what you think is cool to put in there. Some people like redfish, some people like bluefish. Best thing to do is just keep your eye out. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been watching this channel for a while. Your name looks familiar, so. I mean, I think you could find something. Juan Munoz, I hope I did that right. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, hey everyone, hey LRB. Lucas, how often do you dose your ferts and your tanks? Do you dose EI or PPS Pro? So I do the EI, and I don't know, or did I switch to the PPS Pro? I actually had to look that up. I used to do EI forever. I think I may have meddled with PPS Pro, but I think I still do EI. But I do it every other day. Now, if I'm not doing my water changes, I may do it like every 3 days or something like that. Because the water's not really getting changed out. And when I do my water changes, I refert the tank right after I add that water, because if not, it's not gonna have all the nutrients as it would have. But I usually get the dry ferts from Nilo CG and then mix that up and make my own liquid from it. Which I've got a video on that too. If you go to my homepage, I've got different categories of like tips and tricks, playlists. There's like fish room tours. If you're on mobile, it's a little harder to see. Same with TV. If you're on the computer, it's easy to see the home pages and all the options. But I do have all that information in a video on my tips and tricks playlist. If you go to that. North Country Aquatics says, what is your best approach when asking LFS to film? So I've never actually had to ask, I guess. They've always kind of, the only ones I have kind of invited. I guess the best thing to do is talk to the manager, be like, hey, this is who I am. I just wanted to do a video. And if they're cool, I mean, they should understand. It shouldn't be too difficult. Most of the time, they like it because they get promotion from it. RB, I have a 4-inch pleco with my shrimp and the 125 with white clouds and platies. Can I put 3 blue phantom in with them? I would say so, yeah. I don't think that would be an issue. Sounds like you got a lot of space left for more fish, too. Father Fish says the sand can't be too fine. Yeah, I don't know. That'd have to be some super fine sand. I don't think I've ever come across the sand too fine. But hey, I could be wrong. I didn't know there was freshwater blendings either. Dave B said, LRB, are you gonna be at Aquashella? So the one in Chicago, definitely if it comes back to Chicago. The one in Dallas, it's kind of up in the air right now. Kind of up in the air, because that's a long way from home for me. And that would just be pretty much hanging out for me too, because I probably won't get a booth. Last time I got lucky, they gave me that booth, and it made it worth my while to actually travel down there. Thomas Glazer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Throwing down the Snell. I love snails, definitely pro snail. So thank you, Thomas Glazer. I appreciate you again for your support. Stay awesome. Oh wait, the only time I have seen red springtails, I was at a wastewater treatment plant similar to the ones I have seen on my aquarium, but red. Interesting. That's going back to something we talked about earlier. Mickey M says, LRB Aquatics, I've heard Sagittaria compete with other plants by using chemicals from the roots, so you might want to reduce their growth if other plants start to die off. So yeah, I think it's called allopathy or something like that, is when plants will actually battle each other. They can release toxins to each other, whether it be through the roots, leaves, touching each other. And when that does happen, that's when algae will often get in between them too, be eating off the decaying material of them. I've seen all kinds of different variations of this throughout time in my fish room. A lot of the plants I keep anymore, they're not real aggressive with each other. Now if you get crypts, like crypts on crypts, sometimes they don't do good together. But yeah, it's definitely a thing, allopathy. I actually have a couple plant versus plants in my playlist. Chattanooga Egg, great to see you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says, I'll be in St. Louis next week, so I'm wishing you and the family a Merry Christmas today. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Chattanooga Ed. And yeah, St. Louis is great. Is there anything going on in a swap or anything? Either way, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Ed. Where can I buy blue galaris mating pairs or juveniles? Malik Hillard. Your best bet right now would probably just look into the AKA, the American Killifish Association. There's nobody off the top of my head that's actually selling them that I know that you could get in contact with. There's a guy named Brian Thornton on Facebook. If you're able to make a connection with him, he could possibly help you out. But I would definitely look into the American Killifish Association. They will lead you to plenty of people who can get some killies, especially blue galars for you. And I'm hoping to do better about that here in the future too. That's part of one of my build projects. Guppy Gang Aquatics would, because that's one of my favorite fish, and I'd hate to see that fish go to the wayside. But anyways, Guppy Gang Aquatics, would you recommend separating Placo eggs after pulling them from the male and putting them in a container with methylene blue and an air stone? Mine keep dying in the egg clutch unseparated. So I would keep them in the egg clutch. I would not put them in the methylene blue. I would get you a dirty, nice, dirty, cycled tank. I get you a tank like this. Okay, say you got a tank like this, no filter, some plants, some sand. You just plop them in there. You don't do anything. You got all the good beneficial bacteria in there. You got all the little critters that may be in there that freak a lot of people out. And they keep everything natural and clean together to where you don't have to worry about using anything else. And they'll do all right. Now, if you want to split up the clutch a little bit, like maybe you get like half and half or something, that's okay. Just be careful doing it. Because in case one does go fungus, it doesn't get the whole group. But if it's easy to separate it, separate it. I mean, that can help the fungus from gathering all over the place. Often too, when we get the eggs, we like to throw a lot of air on the eggs. As soon as those fish hatch and they're all over that air, sometimes it's too much for them. It's like being born and getting thrown into a tornado. You don't want your mom doing that to you. Alright, so letter B, I got a used saltwater 75 gallon a hose and a towel. Just make sure you get all that salt out there. Any Christmas just for Wesley yet? So Wesley's gonna be super easy for me, at least, because he's wanting a fish tank. And I pretty much got all that laying around. Huh?
And one rainbow fish.
Yeah, and one rainbow fish, which I think I got some rainbow fish for him. Should be interesting which one he picks, though. Watch him pick my big goldie-eyed Akai. Like, oh. I'd still let him have it, though, probably. Let's see. Carrie Nature says, oh wait, I did get that. Okay. Other than Hydra, is there anything in Infusoria that would hurt snails? I'm also trying to up the calcium since they seem to be eating the shell. So Infusoria and Hydra, two different things. So infusoria is like these tiny little microscopic organisms that fry actually love to eat. Hydra is like the opposite. They like to eat fry. I use the Pan-Cure C dog dewormer technique for those. And it's 0, which I did this earlier in the video too. It's amazing how many times I do this, but it's good to share with people because it's a common issue. So 0.1 grams per 10 gallons, you wait a Pan-Cure C dog dewormer, and then you wait 72 hours, do a 50% water change, and then you're going to want to repeat that at least 3 to 4 times. A lot of people say 2 times, but I've had plenty of Hydra out last the 2 doses. And if you want to up calcium, add some crushed coral or something. That'll help. But infusoria is actually a good thing, so don't worry about it too much. Perry Marsh throwing down a $20 super chat says, my boy Wesley, Rainbow Gang over everything, right? He is right up our alley, Perry. Thank you so much for a $20 super chat. You know rainbows are the best. Yeah, I was pretty proud when he told me that he was like, rainbow fish. And then I was like, how many? He was like, 1, just 1. I was like, dude, just 1. You know he's gonna want friends, which we'll talk him through that as it goes by.
He's frugal like his mom.
Yeah, he is kind of frugal. Like I could take him to Walmart or anywhere and go through the toy aisles and I'll let him go play through them, but when it comes time to leaving, I'll be like, you want anything? He'll be like, nah. It's like, yeah, I just messed with them all here. I'm fine. Which is cool. Goose Not Maverick says, I'm late, but gonna hang out for a bit. Forgot to start the stream while feeding my Finn friends. Haha, how is everyone? I'm doing good. I gotta feed my Finn friends when we get off here. I gotta feed myself too, because I was kind of wanting sushi, but oh, poutini's pizza.
That's way off.
Yeah. I want something kind of clean. Okay. LRB, I got a used saltwater 75 gallon. Oh wait, I already answered that one. All over the place. Well, we'll just get to this. DLC Aquaterra, thank you so much for a $20 super chat. Says, hello, brother. A little for the cause, and if I don't see you before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you and the family. Well, DLC Aquaterra, thank you so much, brother. And I hope you and your family, your loved ones, all have a Merry Christmas too. I can't thank you guys enough for the support and the super chats. You guys are absolutely awesome. And holy cow, Janice Lundberg, throwing it down, $25 super chat. Janice, I always appreciate you. Been so supportive. Says, my Amazon sword is translucent and I can't figure out why my pH is neutral and my TDS hangs around 150. I use Easy Green for FERT. It's grown really well, but it's so thin, translucent. Happy holidays. So with the swords, they do love they do grow in soft acidic water, but they do like some sources of calcium and mineralization for sure at the roots. So if you're already using Easy Green, I don't know if there's how much calcium is actually in the Easy Green. Maybe try adding some kind of like extra calcium into it. They have liquid forms. They also have some crushed coral. They've got iron spikes. Maybe that would help. You could probably try Osmocote tabs too, because the acidity is actually the softer and acidic water is actually really good for the leaves. Now, if you're growing it in a hard water condition, it would be thicker. It is possibly just the fact that you are growing in a soft acidic environment that they just are growing that way. If they look happy and they're not like getting holes and turning brown or dying early, should be all right. It could just be the way they're grown. But Janice, thank you so much for the support. All you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate you all. And all my members too. All my Patreons. Without your guys' support, all you guys watching this, like seriously, without you guys, I would not be able to do half of what I do. Or even thinking about doing what I want to do for the future too. Which I get to share with you guys, which is absolutely awesome. Carrie Nature, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, thanks for your help, and I like snails too. Awesome, Carrie Nature. Thank you so much. Oh no, DCFPV says, hey, kind of morbid, but my LFS burned down and have a 60-gallon guppy breeder tank I used to give and sell to him. Well, I can't now. What's a good fish to help with some guppy control? I know some people use rainbows sometimes, cichlids, anything that'll fit in their mouths. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but sometimes populations do need to be controlled of guppies and endlers, or just, it can get insane. Absolutely insane. Ginger Graves, holy cow, thank you so much for a $20 super chat. Says, you are amazing, with the super sticker. Well, you are amazing, Ginger. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Feeling the love. You guys are awesome. Let's see, diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth, good source calcium, Father Fish says. I actually have some of that right next to me. I'm cleaning things out. That's what he's talking about. I was thinking about adding some of it, but I've never been down that route, which I think was really cool of your video, Father Fish, because you're using some ingredients some of us would have been scared to use because we just haven't done it before. So if you guys are interested in what I'm talking about, go to Father Fish and look at his substrate video. I think it was like maybe like 10 videos back in his playlist, and he's got a tank that he did off of it. Really cool. But have you ever used that, Father Fish? Let me know. You're still in here. Yeah, they are tipping for the beard. Is that what it is? Christoph Krizwanis. I don't know, did I get that right? Christoph Krizwanis. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says, keep it up. The pair lifting the weights. Thank you so much, Christoph. I appreciate you. Did I get it right? I see you laughing at me, Christoph. Crazy, yeah.
That's not really his last name.
That's, well, I know. I don't know if it is or isn't, but it's a mouthful. I can tell you that much. I can definitely tell you that much.
Bless your southern tongue.
Right? My southern tongue doesn't help me either. My lazy tongue, it just likes to just like flop around sometimes. Father Fish says, I use it in my supplement mix. So he does use that diatomaceous earth. Did I get it right that time? Good thing I got Lady LRB over here to help me talk. Natural Aquariums, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I made a video about the can of granules you signed for me. Check it out after the stream if you get a chance. Hey, can you pop me up a tab for that? Oh, I have to check that out. That's cool. First time I ever signed a can of tropical granules.
Oh, that's funny. You didn't even tell me about that.
Yeah. I guess there's a video now, so that should be interesting. Miller Aquatics, Lucas, your dedication and hard work is rewarding you, sir. Congrats. It's nice to see. Well, thank you. I feel blessed to have followed my intuition and aspirations, and to have so much support doing so. I definitely feel blessed. How are the discus doing? They're doing good. They're doing swimmingly. They are hungry though, because it is time to eat.
Should I feed them?
I'll feed them here in a little bit. Wow, we're almost at an hour already. That was quick. pretty quick. Okay. Let's see, trying to decide between painted fire reds and Bloody Marys. Any opinions? So, they are different. The red is more in the body of a Bloody Mary and more of the shell on a fire red. Now, I mean, they're both red. I think you get more solid red out of the Bloody Mary than the fire red, but you can get a deeper, harder red from painted fire reds, but it has to be bred out. So it depends on the lineage and the strain that you're starting with that can have to do with that. Some Bloody Mary lines, they don't breed true, but they can go with fire reds too. But the Bloody Marys, they tend to be male and female wise more solid in coloration than the fire reds, if done right. What is Steamboat talking about?
Diatomaceous earth, he puts it
Oh,
in his,
he uses it too?
he puts it in his smoothies, he eats it.
Oh, I can see that. That's how it got so big. D. Kirkbride says, have you ever bred Duplicarius and have any tips? Only subspecies I'm really struggling with. So I do have Duplicarius. I have not bred them yet. Like my Dolphis, they actually bred as a community in rocks and stuff, which, I mean, they're a lot similar, but I did not get that same luck from the Duplicarius. But I also haven't like really tried to target breed them or anything. I know Eric Bodrock of All Oddball Aquatics. He, not to be confused with Haley of Oddball Aquatics, he breeds them. Maybe if you can touch base with him, he could probably help you. Because I know some of those Cory cats, they take certain triggers. Sometimes it could be acidity, sometimes it could be other Cory cats' hormones that can trigger them. I don't have a definitive answer for you there on that one, unfortunately. Aaron Price, and who knows, somebody in the chat, maybe they have. Aaron Price, thank you so much for the $3 super chat. Says, Lucas, how often do you feed your fish and how much? So I usually feed them once a day. Sometimes they'll get lucky, I'll feed them twice. But since I have a lot of natural stuff in my aquariums, they do have a lot to nibble on throughout the days. For instance, these guys are always eating their greens through there, but then I feed in the proteins. And then how much really depends on how hungry they are. Sometimes they'll be hungrier some days than others, but like this tank, they could eat forever. I try not to overfeed them because you can mess them up, especially like rainbow fish. They don't know when to stop eating. So do be careful with that. Just think about their stomach size and then the food that you're putting in it. Kind of like what you do for yourself. Even though that's not always the easiest to do because, oh man, I could smash some coney dogs. Damon Stanring says, are you going to release the next section for the room tour? So yeah, actually I just filmed that today for you guys. The big reason why it took me a while to get it out was just timing. Because Haley comes in around that time. I've got Wesley during the day while that's coming on, so I was wanting to get how I usually get with the intro where the lights are on here and then the lights are still on upstairs because they actually stagger. And with the whole Copa bull crap too, I don't know about like the whole kid thing, and it kind of sucks because I was going to do that whole introduction to a new tank. Well, I'll just tell you guys now with Wesley, where I was gonna have a beginner start a new tank and that was gonna be Wesley. But now it's like, oh, is this actually targeting kids or is it not? I mean, because some kids are gonna be inspired by it. I don't know, it's just real confusing on what YouTube's doing right now. It just kind of bites. But yes, that section should be out soon. This weekend, actually. Alex Moses says, hey, my dad's watching. Can you say, hi, Bobby? Said Alex, please. Well, hello, Bobby. Coming from Alex. There you go. Hope you got a kick out of it. Alright. Scrolling. LRB, how do you control the humidity in the fish room? So I actually got a bunch of dehumidifiers. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 of them around. So each section's kind of got its own dehumidifier. Which, there's probably better systems. I probably just need a house dehumidifier at this point. But as far as ease and economics, it was easier to just get a bunch of these than getting some high-tech machine. Blue Ice Aquatics LRB, I have scuds in my nano shrimp tanks. Had a lot of them. What nano fish could get them under control? So so loaches. I mean, I would go for loaches for sure. They will try to get your shrimp too, though. So that's the problem, is the shrimp and the scuds are about the same size. So whatever can eat the scuds will eat the shrimp too. So save what shrimp you can. Maybe put them in something else. And then go after the scuds. Damon Steinring. Lucas, you are the first person to pronounce my name right first time. Oh, that's awesome. I did something right. Carry Nature, LRB Aquatics, is there a way to raise calcium without raising pH or KH? I have no GH. I think with your calcium, you're gonna, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's gonna raise the pH a little bit because it's gonna buffer it, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Because acidity can break it down too. And if you really gotta worry about that, so often when it comes to fish keeping, and I'm gonna leave this as the last question. Sorry if I did not get to your guys' questions, because this is gonna be a little winded. Not real winded. You guys know I don't get too winded. But when it comes to fish keeping, you got pretty much 2 major types of water to keep for your fish. That's either soft acidic water that's on the other side of the neutral or the other side of the scale, and then you have your hard alkalytic water. So when I talk about this, I always measure TDS. That's what I measure. I do not go after pH. pH can be a goose chase sometimes because hydrogen can come in other sources and forms. It can throw things off of what you may be thinking. So I go from TDS. And so 200 TDS right in the middle is neutral. Anything underneath that, which at 150, that's going to be soft and acidic. And anything over that, that's going to be hard water. So some fish, they don't care. They can deal with them both, but some fish prefer one or the other, mostly due to their skin and their fins. And just how they uptake minerals and whatnot. So know your fish, know what kind of water they prefer. And if it's not a big problem, now I don't know why you're trying to get calcium in there, maybe for your plants or something. But if you have acidity eating up that calcium, that hard alkalytic calcium, then it's going to break down over time. Whatever is trying to uptake it, you can use it, will uptake it over time. And then as you do water changes, it'll also dilute it too. But it's more important to have a stable environment instead of an environment that you're struggling to keep at a certain spot, or to try to pinpoint it to something that is not very natural to the tank itself. I hope this makes sense, because the more you stick with what you have opposed to trying to add this in and that in, you cause many fluctuations doing so, which can cause stress otherwise on fish and whatnot, even plants. So I don't know, I hope that made sense. But yes, I'm gonna hop off here. We are way past the hour mark, and just try to keep it simple, try to keep it natural. I appreciate you guys all hanging out, all chatting with me, all hitting the like button. Thank you all for smashing that like button like right now. Please, thanks. And then thank you all for super chatting. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Hope you all have a great weekend.
I'll be the Wesley and say
And there's
goodnight.
Lady LRB. There you go. You want to tell them like and subscribe?
Oh, I'm Wesley now. Okay, well.
Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, and peace.
There you go. We did the whole YouTube thing. We are YouTubers now. Yes.
Teamwork.
Sweet. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? All right. Till next time, everybody. Have a great one.